Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Another quick review of the Vickers Vincent by Azur. So here we go, nice bit of box art, I've got to say, of a Vincent in action. If you wanted to know the box kit number, it is that one there, FR019. Obviously it's from Azur and it's in 172 scale. Let's have a look. So if we start with the instructions, if you wanted to, it's in French and English. If you wanted to, if you fancied, you wanted to have a look at it, there it is there. I'll look in the French if you want. So if we'll go through this one, if I can open it. Here we go. So obviously we get the map of the sprues we're going to be using and what we're not going to be using. Not that much. We're using most of these sprues here. We've obviously got some bit of photo etch and we've got some nice bits of resin, I think the engine and some bits and pieces, and guns call outs, which is good for me. Pretty standard stuff though. So if we have a look, then we'll straight in obviously into the old cabin. It looks relatively complex, relatively busy, pretty standard. What we've got here, F is obviously going to be the canvas. That's interesting. So we've got like a red linen for the inside, and the G is going to be interior green. So according to these call outs, it's going to be red and like a green interior. That's quite really quite colourful. I wonder if you get to see most of it, any of it though. So once you've got the cockpit sorted out, obviously the fuselage goes together. Okay, this is all pretty okay at the minute, and this straight away you're into the fourth step, and this is obviously where it's going to start to get a little bit complicated. We'll have to have a look at actually the plastic to see if we've got any locating points for the struts. Now we'll have to keep an eye on that, because that could well bite us in the bum. Other than that, look, it's pretty straightforward. Engine looks quite nice. So really, step 8, and then we're step 10, and then we're done. So according to this, there's not that much to do on it. Obviously if the plastic's okay, it should be okay. Here's your here's your rigging diagram. Make of that as you will. Obviously we'll use the box art for a lot of this. It does seem to be quite, I'm just looking at the box art as well. Well, yeah, pretty standard sort of stuff really. It's just in 172, it might well be obviously kind of small. The schemes that come in the box, I won't be worrying about, because I'm not doing any of these. He says, as he's looking at it, this is 8 Squadron, we're not doing that one. But should you wanted to know, Dark Earth, Sand and Green, and another beigey sand colour underneath. That looks, or even doped aluminium. So quite colourful. Again, the camouflage schemes are quite colourful. We'll do a New Zealand one. So there are 4 schemes in this. That's quite nice, isn't it? And then we have a little bit of stencil data at the end. That's quite a nice scheme. That's on there. What's that? C. That's aluminium and the camo top. Quite nice. And on the back is obviously some other. Here we go. Limited run kits, so that tells you what we're up against. Okay, that looks okay. Let's get onto the plastic. Obviously, before the plastic, we ought to really take a look at the decals, and we've got a photo etch sheet there as well. So if we just take this out, they look. Let's pop that just over there. A shot. They look quite glossy. But the colours look okay. The colours look good. It looks nothing out of all the ordinary. What do you say about that, really? It's a decal sheet. It's carrier film, obviously, over the letters and the numbers, but again, I don't think we're going to be using any of this. It's just going to be the roundels, the fin flashes we're going to be using. I'll have to take, because this is going to be, what we're doing is for a specific aircraft. So I'll just see, hopefully I might be able to use some of the letters and the numbers perhaps, but I'll have to take a bit of advice on that from my mate. So put that just to one side up there, and and then we'll have a look at the little bit of photo etch. You can see that there. Try not to get it blinded you. Well, you can imagine in 72 scale it's tiny etch, but we do get belts, sway braces for the bombs, obviously, and then some other bits and pieces that look incredibly tiddly. So I think now we can get onto the plastic. Randomly, the fuselage comes, well, both fuselages. I wonder whether that would at one point would have been like that, perhaps. But we have got two separate bits, which is rather interesting. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have a look at we'll pop that just over there. We'll have a look at this fuselage half here, if you can see that. Right, it's the interior is quite nice. Ribbon detail, injection pin. Well, you're probably not going to see that one or these other two, but the exterior is rather rough indeed. That's going to need a bit of cleaning up, a bit of sanding up on that one. We've lost a panel line here. The panel lines that I can see are quite fine indeed, and the plastic is quite rough. I'll just put that just there, and we'll grab the other one, see if that's any better. No, that's just as bad. They've had a go at taking these EPMs out here, look, and they've yeah, that's proud still. So whoever's had a go at this, probably at factory, is take these off, but there's obviously no polishing been going on. Internally, it's the same as the other side of the fuselage. I mean, that's quite nice. We can mask that off and paint that. That would be okay. What we are going to have a look at is, let's look at these wings. They're nicely bowed for the dihedral. The plastic again is quite rough. It's polished to a degree. I'm not seeing any flash, but again, it does need cleaning up a little bit. If you look on the underside of the that's the top wing, and that, is that the top wing? It's going to pose. Imagine that's the top wing here, and we have got marks for where the struts are going on the top, but not on the bottom. Or possibly we have actually. Having said that, we have, yeah. They are tiny. They probably we're going to want opening up just there and there. These here, they're going to want opening up, obviously, so they can take the struts. And as I can see here, it just wants cleaning up. So actually, although the prop looks okay, and the rudder tail plate looks fine. The little machine gun, that looks okay. It looks okay. It just needs a bit of cleaning up to make it workable. So here's the sprue with some other bits and pieces. We've got engine pieces here. Obviously we probably won't be using that. There's the little instrument panel. Tiny little thing. There is, I didn't see a decal for the, so I'm going to have to muck about with that. Wheels, 2-piece. There's no locating pins naturally. I think are we going on with it? We'll have to see whether we're going to have the spatted ones or the just the bare wheels. I think it's possibly the bare wheels, so we need to clean that up. Clean them up, no end. These are the struts. So they have got little pins in the bottom of the strut. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that to make sure I get that alignment bang on. They're the legs for the undercarriage there, and there torpedo. I don't quite know what we're doing with torpedo. Yeah, that looks okay. Again, it's a little bit. The plastic's okay. It's okay. It's not as bad as the fuselage or the wings, but that's very workable. Sprue F. If you've been counting, I haven't. We've got more wheels, more 2-piece wheels, cockpit floor, I'm assuming, take a wash nicely, a bomb, a boom, various other bits and pieces, bit for the cockpit here, some more instruments. Yeah, that looks okay. And I nearly forgot this, the tiny glass sprue, well, tiny, well, the little pilot's windscreen there, you're obviously going to lose that. I can't see that lasting the entire build right to the very end. But, you know, there it is. At least it's there. Resin pieces. Here's the engine. This is what I wanted to look at. That is quite nice indeed. Your cylinders, I'm assuming. Oh, actually, they might be the end of the bombs, aren't they? We've got a joystick or a yoke. These would be little cockpit pieces. I know what that is. And then the bombs are quite nice. I wonder if that goes onto there like that, or on the back there. Could be that, couldn't it? But it's not rolling around. It's doing it again, look. Oh. So, yeah, there's the little engine. That's quite nice indeed. Now, that's going to take, not only is it going to take some removing from the casting block, but actually take some paint nicely. Actually, that should look all right indeed. Very nice too. Well, there you go. It's a short run kit, so it will need some, what's the word, manipulation to get it into some sort of shape. I think the thing to worry about, I'm saying this out loud now, would be the struts here, getting that on, because the holes that are in the wings are quite small, so we need to look into maybe enlarging that a little bit, and getting that absolutely, because that looks like it's perpendicular to the fuselage. So I don't know whether that's easier or more difficult than having them staggered like a lot of the biplanes were. Actually, if you look at this image here, you'll see that it's quite a big aeroplane. For a biplane, single engine biplane, that's a big aeroplane. I'm talking the engine, obviously that's going to be the focal point. So it is quite a large thing we're dealing with. Not a small little 172 kit. You know, it's almost bordering on 48 kind of scale. So we'll see. And obviously the rigging is obviously, you know, it's going to be a pain in the bum. But you know, we'll crack on, get it done somehow. It's actually going to be the first of a series of aircraft that I'm helping a friend of mine out who's doing like a history of 84 Squadron RAF on the aircraft that they flew during its time, during its history. It's still going, obviously, 84 Squadron, which I'm over the moon to help, but I seem to have had given the task of the biplanes. Thanks, Terry. So, so we'll have to see how we get on. So keep an eye out for this. I will obviously tag 84 Squadron in, and we can follow it along as best we can. So yeah, so that's good, isn't it? So thanks for taking time to watch this, and I will see you on British Aviation in Scale. I will see you on the Spanish War modelling group, and I will see you generally on the interwebs. Okay, chaps, happy modelling, and I will see you soon.